there's been a shift relative to the type of talent that thrives in this environment and those that who do not. Because again, all due respect to all of the veterans out there, but my experience is seeing so many of the veterans who were just, bringing home the bacon, the flamethrowers, are not doing as well. Where, say, a millennial or someone who is accustomed to creating compelling content, having social media expertise, is now truly cleaning up. And so that's been the watershed moment in terms of the transformation.
So on today's episode of C-Level, I have Jay Martin, the CEO of Talent Match. Jay, welcome.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being. So I see you're on your airplane headed somewhere.
Yeah, time is money, Chris. And so you have to be efficient where you can.
Love it. Even in a virtual world, we're still on the move, right?
Totally. No rest for the wicked.
Yeah. So I'm excited about today's episode because we're going to be talking about selling, specifically selling and now what it looks like now. And I know you got a plethora of information. So why don't we start off with a little bit of your background? Tell me a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about Talent Match, and let's just dive right into it.
Okay, thank you. Again, thank you for having me. I represent a firm by the name of Talent Match. I'm the owner-operator, have been for 10 years. It's a 20-year firm. And we are a national placement agency as well as professional services company. So we help companies move the needle. We help companies drive progress to achieve measurable results. And a big core of our business is sourcing and placing extraordinary talent coast to coast for Fortune 100 companies. My background is I was in corporate sales. I was a vice president of sales for a multi-billion-dollar company in the document management space. And so this was really a natural segue for me after my corporate life.
That's awesome. Actually, my first corporate job was with Xerox, believe it or not.
Fantastic. I mean, and it's so funny you say that too, Chris, because I got to tell you, we work with extraordinary talent and extraordinary clients. And even with when we would delve into other industries beyond document management, for example, cybersecurity or waste management, et cetera, occasionally we'll cross paths with client contacts or hiring managers who've had the experience of working with people from the document management space, a Xerox rep. And I can tell you, the selling pro who pushes software, they just have to capture mind share with the VP of IT, where the copier guy has got to be effective with the janitor, and that is the differentiator with a copier sales pro who does well and any other salesperson. They're multi-talented. They've got to do all sorts of different things. The demands are more daunting, and anyone who comes from that industry with any measure of success, believe me, can do anything.
Yeah.
As we were seeing in your career now, Chris.
Yeah. Well, it was different for me back then. I mean, before I actually got into the entertainment business, that was kind of like I was working there and I was auditioning. I was doing a bunch of things, but yeah, I mean, selling, it's especially now when I worked for them, I was more of like the I forget what they called it, like you were running the machines like toner and stuff, but you would try to upsell certain products and stuff like that, but like, and as you mentioned, I mean, you get to know everybody there, right?
You have to yeah, yeah. I mean, not only you have to be credible and compelling, but you have to have a fluid personality where you're not ticking off anybody.
Right. Just be friendly with everybody, and then eventually,
multi-dimensional. Or it just doesn't work. The ones who are champions of their game are those people who can be impactful and effective with all types of personalities.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about selling right now, right? I mean, how, in your opinion, like how has COVID changed the whole selling process here and now?
Appreciate the question. I will tell you, it's coming up now on a year since the outbreak of this virus, and from my perspective, and mind you, again, we're a national company. and it's been transformational. And what I mean by that is, the belly to belly approach to selling to a prospect, starting with the handshake, okay, and all one can do when in front of their prospective client, it's changed forever. It's changed forever. Okay, so many a legacy sales rep who's been accustomed to the personal touch while in front of their clients are now struggling in the new environment of selling, because it's now called either COVID selling or virtual selling. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, you better get good at being able to create compelling optics. You better be able to understand how to champion optics, content, and video, because those who are getting clever at that are running the table. They are running the table. And so there's been a shift relative to the type of talent that thrives in this environment and those who do not. Because again, all due respect to all of the veterans out there, but my experience is seeing so many of the veterans who were just, bringing home the bacon, the flamethrowers, are not doing as well, where say a millennial or someone who is accustomed to creating compelling content, having social media expertise, is now truly cleaning up. And so that's been the watershed moment in terms of the transformation.
100. Yep. And I think, with any great entrepreneur, any great business owner, they know that, the key to a successful business is to change, right?
Yep.
So the same thing, as a sales rep, somebody in the sales, you can look at, they always talk about your book of business. So this is essentially your little business, right?
Right.
Well, the selling environment has changed. And if you stay the same way and believe that it's always going to, it's not going to change, and you don't change with it, you could lose your book of business, losing your company. And so
Totally.
I think now, because you're right, I mean, the selling has changed, and I do believe it's changed for a very, very long time, if not forever.
Yes.
To way we go about things. But if you look at it from a positive standpoint, and I know that there's a lot of sales reps out there that they're the outside, they're, the shake hands, kiss babies type, salespeople.
Right.
Well, that's not here right now. So you have to adapt to it. Right. And so when you learn to adapt and you learn to look at this as an opportunity, like with the whole virtual or COVID selling, it's the first time I heard that one, the COVID selling, this is an opportunity. Think about, I worked in outside sales before I got into the entertainment business, and think about I used to call it windshield time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How much windshield time was used up for you driving from prospect to prospect to prospect. Now, because you're able to just jump in front of your laptop from home, you're able to go to prospect to prospect. So there's actually more of an opportunity for you to close more business. Look at the positive and don't say, why me?
You're spot on, Chris. And to that point, on average, reps report spending only 1.9 hours per day on sales calls, okay, with virtual or COVID selling. So what that means now, with a dramatic cut of time spent in travel and other non-selling activities have been stripped away, there are fewer excuses. So the new standards for individual rep productivity are now being redefined.
Yeah. It's funny. I kind of get a chuckle when people are like, I'm getting Zoom fatigue. I'm like, what is that? Do you get like work fatigue? It's, I think you're just in front of a camera talking to somebody as if they were in front of you anyway. And so I think that that's just some people's like out just saying, oh, I'm not used to this. All right, well, that's fine, but get used to it, because this is the here and now. And I'm happy that you actually mentioned, about, the whole virtual selling, the skills you need, right? So if you're a good sales rep, a lot of that, you have that natural born talent, right? But it can also be refined. Right. This is one of those refining moments. Right. Now selling is on camera. So it's funny because with our company, our people, obviously we work heavily in the movie business and the entertainment business and TV. But we made a shift to support those sales reps, to support those business owners, to help them create content and help them on their on-camera presence. We started setting at-home studios. Right. Like right now, like I'm in a studio, and so, green screen and lighting and all those things are important for a professional presence. You want to make sure that you have that professional presence, especially in this day and age.
Yes. Well, to your point, and I agree with you, because there has been a dramatic increase in COVID selling, virtual selling, okay? And so now buyers are glued to their TV monitors or their computer monitors all the time. There is, believe it or not, there is Zoom fatigue with buyers. And what I mean by that is because it's just going, that trend is so dramatic in terms of virtual selling. You know, if you take a 100% of all of the visuals that a buyer or client contact may look at on their screen with interaction with a selling professional, if you take 100% of all those events that take place, a strong chance that 70% of that is going to be clutter. 70% of that's going to be irrelevant. 70% of that's going to be reflective of poor planning on the sales rep's part. And so the yearning or the need for really truly relevant matter or relevant topics and subject matter, it comes to the forefront. And so there is a Zoom fatigue amongst buyers because of the clutter they're experiencing with ill-prepared sales reps hawking their technology or go-to-market strategy.
I love that point. You know, so the sales rep really does need to be very, very direct and to the point on how they're going about their sales presentation, right? I mean, if you got like a 42-page slide and like that's all they're watching and clicking, yes, I can see somebody just zoning out, right? I mean, so you gotta be able to think a little bit outside the box and you know, get your sales pitch tighter because the attention spans are even shorter.
So agree. You're spot on. And it's like, there's a trick to that. There's a trick to that. And so, you know, you could prepare till the cows come home, but unless your wits are about you, unless you're engaged in the present, the moment, okay, and connected with your client in that moment, all could be lost. Again, you can prepare. It means nothing unless you're not paying attention to what's going on in front of you. Right. And so that is a huge blind side with salespeople, because they prepare their optics, they prepare their social media videos and all that kind of stuff. And it's hell for leather by sticking to the script when they're not noticing that their client wants to talk about something else.
Right. Listen, talk less, listen more. That's the
correct. Yes. And it's amazing that is a pervasive issue. It is. And many a client relationship suffers with salespeople because they're missing the point. That which got you where you are today is not necessarily going to get you where you need to be tomorrow.
Yeah, I love that point. So some of your clients right now, document management, the IT stuff, like what are some of the things that they can do to be most effective, you know, in this environment right now?
Great question. Really and truly, you know, in terms of hiring, which is, you know, in my realm, they need to pay attention to the talent that's out there. The criteria for talent today who can move the needle and create measurable results for a company may not have been the talent a year ago. And you got to know, and this is all due respect to the selling professional out there, you know, those people who historically have been the flamethrowers of moving the needle with their belly-to-belly personal touches aren't as effective today as the ones now who have understood and captured and grasped and now own the value of compelling content over a computer monitor. It's a very, very different approach, a different game. And there's talent out there who truly knows what that's all about and can truly move the needle for companies. But companies need to shift their criteria and understand that they've got to look beyond what they used to look at talent to really get to the profile of who can really be optimally impactful for their company.
It's good information. So we're coming up at the top of our episode here. So, you know, we got a lot of obviously entrepreneurs and business owners and you know, companies that are looking to hire talent and stuff like that, watching our show. If you were to give one piece of leadership advice to those people, what would that be?
Remain curious. Don't be satisfied with what you heard yesterday. Don't be satisfied with what you heard a minute ago. Be a voracious learner. You need to look at trends. You need to look what the Joneses are doing. You need to look at what the competition is doing and cleaning their clock and understanding why. You being set in your ways and you kicking back and saying, yeah, this formula always will work, is a fool's errand. Remain curious.
I absolutely love that. So remain curious. Don't be set in your ways, and keep an eye out for trends in the marketplace. Jay, I really appreciate you coming on the episode. Thank you so much.
Chris, anytime. The pleasure's all mine. And next time, let's meet on my vehicle and let's take a spin around the block.
Vehicle, let's jump on that plane of yours.
You got it. You got it.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If you like this episode, make sure you mash that like button and subscribe so you get the latest episodes. And if somebody else needs to hear it, please do them that favor and share it.